Hey Simmers, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kiana or Creativity, and I make content for The Sims 4. And today's video is going to be all about my entire process of filming, what I film on, how I edit, mods that I use that make things a bit easier to film, and yeah, just the whole shebang, you know what I'm saying? So before we get started, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell because I do oftentimes drop some tips and tutorials, mod reviews, builds, let's plays, all that kind of stuff that you might be interested in, and you don't want to miss that. All right, let's get into it. The very first thing you're going to want to figure out is what are you going to use to record your screen? If you're on PC and you have NVIDIA, it does have the capability of you being able to screen record your game for some time. I like to personally use OBS Studio. There is also an in-game function that lets you record, but I have found that the quality on there is not the best. The next really important thing that I feel like helps me when I'm in the middle of recording is having some type of stream deck. Now, before you click off, this is completely free. All you need is your phone and an app installed onto your computer and also installed onto your phone, and then you just connect the two and it lets you record. Now, I figured this out a few years ago when I was streaming and I just wanted to have my own little buttons that I can press without having to drop hundreds on a stream deck. I did find a video that someone explains very well on how to set everything up, integrate it to OBS, and it just makes the whole recording process so much easier. Prior to having the whole stream deck, filming anything for Sims was a little bit tedious because you'd have to keep tabbing out, pressing stop record, start record, and with this, you're able to find it on your phone. So I have start record, stop record right here. So this app actually, it's free. You get a certain amount of panels, I think maybe 6 or 8 for free. And then it's just I think one-time payment of $16 that I did to have unlimited panels. Now, of course, it's literally not necessary because all I use is the start record, stop record. So it's not like that necessary. All you really need if you are filming for Sims is those two buttons. So I just wanted to show you, I do also have this open on my desktop. You have to have both open at the same time. This is just going to be kind of running in the background. I don't recommend using this method if you have lower specs and already you lag while you play Sims. Like, just don't even think about having extra applications running in the background while you're playing Sims and you're already laggy. And if you want to film, still you're able to, but I would suggest definitely OBS Studio because it is lighter use on your CPU, so it won't really interfere too much with your gameplay. So for this next step, you're going to want to configure your camera settings, and this is going to be in your game file and in your res folder. I'm going to walk you guys through this and then show you how it looks in game. I just want to preface by saying this is something you can edit while you're in game and save it, and it will update in real time. You won't need to close out your game all the time to change these settings. You can tweak everything to your liking. Okay, so I am here in game, and I just wanted to show you guys what I do with my camera settings. So I'm just gonna have the game running in the background, but I am going to go ahead and pop open what I use. So when you are on PC, you're gonna go to Windows, Program Files, EA Games, The Sims 4, and then this basically pops up all of your packs and everything. You're going to scroll until you find Game, go in the bin folder, and then go into the res folder. And this is all of your camera settings. So I have done a video on how you can tweak your camera controls, but I'll just go over it really quickly. This looks a bit complicated, but trust me, it's not. Like, I'll explain it to you. This simple at the very top is your Sims 4 camera. You can turn on and off click drag enabled by changing true to false. If you want to change how when you hold your right click and basically rotate your camera, you just look for the mouse yaw speed. By default, it's 0.0008. I like it on 0.005. So this is something you can mess around with. And when you change settings in here, make sure you press save and it will automatically save in your game. Your advanced settings, click and drag by default is going to be false. So that means when you have your Sims 3 camera, you can't click and drag. But since I have it as true, I can click and drag, and it's a really helpful tool to keep having the ability to move your camera in different, more high-tech angles. And I'm gonna scroll down and show you one other personal preference. You don't have to do this, but I found that my middle finger was getting really fatigued from having to use the middle mouse button, like having to constantly use this mouse button to do the rotations. So I was like, there's gotta be a way to change this setting because in game you can't change keybinds. So I did find a way to actually do this. And it's right here under the advanced settings. It says swap middle and right mouse button action. You just change this from false to true if that's also something that bothers you. I'm gonna move on now to how I do like the cinematic camera, which is more useful for what we're talking about here in today's video. And let me show you how you get here. I already had it open, but underneath the same res folder, you're gonna come down and go to video camera and it will pop open in your notepad. And you're gonna scroll down and it's gonna be these three settings down here. So by default, it's 0.20, I think. I can't remember, but if you want it to move a bit slower, like that, then I would suggest doing it as a 20.0. And I like to just keep it linear for my personal choices of filming, but I know that there is a easy in and easy out that you can change this to as well, depending on how you're wanting the aesthetic and the whole vibe of the video to go. But yeah, so another important thing, which is, okay, cool, Kiana, I set up my camera settings. Now, how the fuck do you even configure this? Like, what do you do? How do I use this in my game? Let me zoom out from Daphne a bit and let me show you. So by now, you should know that to access the free camera, which gets rid of the entire UI. So to get rid of this entire UI, you press tab on your keyboard, okay? Once you've pressed tab, I'm just using the W key to move forward. And then to move down, I'm using Q. And to move up, you use E. You can also use Z to zoom in and X to zoom out, but I mostly just use my scroll wheel. Then you're gonna hit, and you're gonna hold these together. Control 5 gets this angle, then move it around just kind of where else you would like the camera to kind of go through and then end. And then I'm gonna hit Control 6. And then to go back to our beginning, hit Shift 5 and it goes back to where we were. On your keyboard, you're just gonna hit the number 6 and it's gonna start moving. So what the Control 5, Control 6 did was it binded the camera angles to those numbers. So once you have those set up, you just hit either number and it will go. If you hold number 6, which is what I binded it to, it will go even slower to give it more of like that aesthetic, slow, sexy look, okay? Yeah, you guys feeling it? You digging it? And then you can go backwards too. So I hit 5 and it's going back to where it started from. For this one, when I hold 5, for some reason, it doesn't slow it back down. As far as I know, you can keybind 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your numbers to have different camera angles. So that was 5. I'm gonna go back to 6, and then from 6, we're gonna zoom up, and this is my new camera angle. I'm gonna press Control 7, and then from Control 7, I'm just gonna go around here to our 4th camera angle and hit Control 8, pressing Shift 6 right now to go back to our 2nd camera angle, and then I hit the number 7 and it starts moving up. Again, I think it's very like if it's on the same plane, it will slow down if you hold it. Okay, it's doing it now. And then from 7, I hit 8. That's how you do the cinematic camera. I hope I explained that well. Let me know if any part of it was confusing, and I will be putting up the controls and everything on the screen also so that you can follow along. But once you get the hang of it, it's honestly something that muscle memory will not let you forget. Okay, so you have your camera set up, you have all of that, but it's like,
well, Kiana, please, I want to make it look a little bit more aesthetic. How do you have it so that you have these like nice bouquet stars and stuff in the back?
Don't worry, okay? I'm gonna pop up actually because I don't gatekeep. I tweaked the bouquet of this G shade to have the stars and everything, but you have to do it in a specific way that it's not like so much. So I'm going to pop it up on the screen over here. Feel free to pause the video and copy the settings onto your G Shade as well. And yes, I do still use G Shade despite people's fear towards any malware. That has since been debunked and it's been removed and it's been fixed. It's been over a year now. G Shade is safe to use. I have malware protection on my computer. If it had any issues, it would pop it up and tell me, you know? I will give you guys the bokeh settings and G Shade. I will link you guys a tutorial down below to how you can download G Shade. And I'll also put down some of my favorites in like a Patreon post and link them to you guys. So just make sure you look out for that in the description. Again, if you know that you have lower specs on your PC and you're wanting to do a lot of this stuff, I would say do like a few things first and see how your PC and your computer can handle it. Because if it can't, then you know, you're gonna just run into a lot of issues and your game is gonna crash a lot, unfortunately. Now we're gonna move on to actually preparing your doll. Basically, we're playing dolls here. You're gonna prepare your sim to have things ready for what you wanna film. I would say get a general idea. You know, if you already have a sim that you're playing with and they're maybe like a single mom or they're like a workaholic and stuff like that, and they're doing self-care or they're decorating for Christmas, whatever you want the vlog to be about, just write like a short summary or something like that, and then make little bullet points of what you would like your sim to do. So for me, if my sim is doing like a self-care day, I would basically set up a routine for them. Wake up, brush your teeth, get some water. So just kind of like have them do their morning routine, maybe like use the bathroom, go shower. Like all of these you can make a priority for your sim when they wake up. So that they automatically do it. And the way that I do that is by using this mod called Habits. And when you click on your sim, because you have to click onto your sim once you have the mod, you're gonna see this on your pie menu called Routine. Now with Routine, you can enable a routine and then set your priorities. You can set up to 5 priorities. So your first one, I would say, should be like wake up, brush your teeth. Second one would be take a shower, use the bathroom, get dressed or like change your outfit. Priority 4 is cook a meal, eat something, and then you can leave priority 5 empty if that's it. You can have your sim have a whole morning routine that they follow. And I feel like that's very like nouveau riche aesthetic, how the girlies be vlogging IRL. That's a really good way to set up the scene for yourself without having to constantly do this interaction, click on this, do that interaction. Like your sim, since it has the routine, will automatically do these things. It's just a matter of you pressing tab, going next to their bed, and getting the moment that they wake up. And an easy way to do this when you have tab is, let me pull up my keyboard for you guys. Okay. On your keyboard, this button right here, which is like the tilde, the little squiggly line. I'm sorry, it's blurry because of the blur background. This tilde, this is your 0. This pauses your game. This is normal speed, number 1. Number 2 is going to be kind of medium speed, and number 3 is fast forward. So if you're already in position, let's say you know your sim is going to get up out of bed and go to the bathroom, you already got the shot for your sim waking up. Okay, so I had my sim get into bed and I set up a little camera control here. So I'm going to keep the game paused, and then I'll hit 6 to my next camera angle. And then while that's going, I'm gonna press 1 so that it seems a little bit more seamless, and it just gets her kind of in bed. I do like to have the blur background on because it gives more of this cinematic effect. So let's say you already got this shot. Now I'm gonna move over to the bathroom. Just kind of moving along. I know she's gonna come through the door. If you have it on your keyboard, I know a lot of people have like some keys cut off their keyboard, but I press page up and that puts my walls up. And if you want them down, page down. So page up, I have this, and I know she's going to, per the routine I set, walk into the bathroom. So I'm just going to kind of like speed up the game. Okay. So she's coming. I'm gonna start it while she's walking and get a little peeing ASMR, but I just realized you can't hear the game, but that's fine because there's not too much happening in the game for you needing to hear it. But yeah, so basically that's how I set up my scenes. Is I know my sim is going to do these things. I'm going to get a little shot of them doing what they're doing now. Then I'm going to move my camera to the next place I know they're going to be in. So it looks a little bit more seamless, like it's more candid and off guard. And someone is just like Truman Show filming the sim, and the sim has no clue about it. I hope that mod is useful for you guys. It has not been updated since 2019. I use it in my game. It still works. On Scarlet Mods, it says that there's no known issues. So, you know, with everything, download it at your own risk, but it is safe to download. It's a script file and a package file. Never, ever, ever download any type of file that ends in .exe. That is malware. Anyways, moving on to the next mod that kind of helps and ties in with the morning habits routine is, so this is a mod by Lot 51. They have a lot of really good mods. So I have already this alarm clock, which is compatible with this mod. This is by Lilac Creative. I'll leave the link down below. But when you click on this, it has the sunrise alarm here, and you can create an alarm, specific time. And let's say my sim is, well, I'm not even gonna say, like, she's just really chill. She's chill. So she probably wakes up around like 8 or 9. But I know, like, if you're trying to have your sim be that girl that wakes up like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, you can have them do that. But I would use UI cheats or something to cheat their needs, because Sims don't have the best track record for going to sleep at a good time. So if your sim goes to sleep at 3 and your alarm is set for 4 a.m., you know, 1 hour of sleep, they'll still do all their stuff. But I'm just saying, like, realistically, you are going to want to cheat their needs. But yeah, I'll set the alarm for 8 a.m. And then it also has like a specific time of 8 a.m., you know, so it's pretty good. It's good to have in your game, because then if your sim is the type that did go to sleep super late and then they sleep through the night, and then, you know, they're waking up at 8 p.m. the next day to do their morning routine, it doesn't really make sense. So just in terms of realism and trying to create a more realistic world for vlogs and stuff for your Sims, I would say these two mods are 100% go-to. But the next mod I'm going to talk about is the mini weather control by Lot 51 as well. I know that you can, with UI cheats, change stuff down here, you know, change the season. And there's some type of weather machine as well you can get, I think, with like the eco lifestyle. But I don't know, this is just cuter. You can just come and click on this, you know. So if I wanted to have like a, let's see, because I don't want to have a thunderstorm too much, but I feel like it would be really cool to set the scene. It's already raining in my game, so I might make it a little bit more like intense and add a thunderstorm. And it takes like a few seconds for the game to understand, and then it will change the weather. Another really important thing that I think people should utilize when they are making content for The Sims is have a nice intro. Have a nice aesthetic intro. I'll make like a cute little thing right now and show you guys what I mean. And then basically after that, I'll put in the work that it took to get to that point. Okay, so from that, I just want to say that it takes a little bit. That part is going to be the most tedious part, but you just got to be patient and you just have to think about the end result of, well, it's going to come out good. So I always like to start out with kind of showcasing the world that I'm playing in. So it gives the audience a little bit more of a connection of like, oh, like she's in Brindleton Bay, or like it's raining, just kind of getting more of like environmental shots to show this, and then put the title there, because I don't want to put the title ever like on top of my sim because I feel like it's a little bit too distracting. But if I have the shot where I did like on the road vlog, blah blah blah, you know, featuring blah blah blah, something like that, like that's like a good place to put your title, somewhere where it's like this like open road or like open landscape, where the title that you put into your video is going to pop and stand out. What I did was basically, as I showed you guys, getting the tab, and you guys don't even need to use the bokeh. Like I realized that the bokeh is really good when I'm like playing with Sims, but for like environmental shots, it's kind of like eh. So you know, you give and you take, but I'm gonna use it anyways for this. And so I set it up like Control 5, and then I leave tab and I click and drag and I go here. I kind of adjust the camera. I'm pretending I'm a car, basically. The camera is pretending to be a car, which is pretty cool. And I put Control 6. This is my ending point. This is where I want my camera to stop. And then I go back to Shift 5, hit tab. I start the camera while I'm recording, and then I hit play so that there's no, it's easier to like find where to like cut the video and stuff like that. But especially if you're on a road where there is cars, it's a lot easier to just kind of like film that and make it believable that, oh, like we're a car, we're driving to this destination to now see Daphne doing her morning routine. Like, you know, you just kind of have to you gotta kind of romanticize your Sims life. Yeah, basically like use your environment. You know, if there's other houses, nicer houses that you want to showcase in there, like maybe you built it, just kind of stuff like that. And then just like put it in the description. Like, yeah, I fucking built this shit, bitch, put it down in your lot. Yeah, I just like to kind of showcase the world that I'm in, and having the weather be a thunderstorm is pretty nice because you get that rainy ambiance sound, which if you're making an ASMR video, 100% you want that in your video. Another thing is I haven't really heard it in this world because since I've been playing, it's been kind of like fall and winter and stuff. But I think when it's more spring and summertime, there is birds chirping. You can catch that in your videos that you can get. And then eventually to kind of like get us into, okay, like the intro's ending. Now we're switching into now you're meeting my character that's going to be doing the ASMR. I did the shot from this window because my sim was already painting, and I love doing shots of my sims through their window because before you get a full glance into the house and into the sim, you're still kind of looking at them from the outside before you're introduced to them, which I don't know why I do that, but I think it's really cool, and I love watching it back, and I'm like, huh, I like that I did that. So I thought I'd tell you guys about it. Maybe you like doing it too. Then I just kind of went inside the house, did the shot where she's walking to go sit down and start reading. And this is a different reading animation by Simkatu. I'll put the link down below if you don't already know about it, but I'm pretty sure the entire Sims community knows about Simkatu and their amazing animations. Just in case you're new though, and you don't know, I will put in the links. And I like to do a lot of shots where it starts like from lower, but then goes higher because camera work wise, I like it to feel like still we're looking into a dollhouse, basically. As much as like our Sims are people, I still like to view them as like they're these dolls, you're playing with them, you're looking over them. So I do like to get a lot of like top shots. But if I'm doing ASMR, I like to get really close in to what they're doing because it picks up the audio better. And then just like the rainy ambiance in the background is just always cozy to me. It makes me want to like sleep and just kind of kick back and relax. That is how I film and do everything in that sense, but it's not over yet. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about editing softwares. There are some that are free that come with like a trial where you can do like watermarks off of some of the videos. I think like Capcut maybe has that, but then it's $10 a month for like a pro, which they have a lot of pre-made templates that are really good. My boyfriend uses it a lot for making like his videos, and his videos always when I look, I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even know this was a possibility. But if you have the $10 to spare every month, then you know, that's one option. Another option that I have a perpetual license for, you pay for it once, that's what a perpetual license is Wondershare Filmora. This is nothing in this video is sponsored, by the way. I've paid for everything with my own money. Wondershare Filmora, if you're new to editing, is so like the learning curve is so easy. It has things that make editing so much easier. It has stock photos, it has stock audios and stuff like that. And just like some like GIFs you can put into your videos to just kind of liven it up for people that like to like make videos like that. I find it to be my best friend when it comes to editing. I really like it. It's easy. I feel like I'm never having to do too much with like keybinds and stuff like that. It's all pretty cohesive. And last recommendation I have, which is completely free, but it's a huge learning curve, is Davinci Resolve. I did film and edit one of my videos through there, and it was just like a 1 to 2 minute video, and I was completely baffled on just everything going on. I even tried watching tutorials and I'm like scratching my head because it's not very like beginner friendly, but if you have the time and patience, it is a free software to use. And the very last thing, I told you guys I'm walking through the entire process. And the last thing is kind of two things that I do at once. This is the point where I start thinking, like, what am I going to name my video? What is going to be in the description? Did I talk about any mods? Let me start linking it. So I'll pull up Notepad and I'll start typing like, that's going to be my title, you know, mods. I'm going to involve my socials, anything that you want in the description, I suggest just starting to write it out. Because when you're uploading your video and it's uploading, you could just do it there, but I like to do it on my notepad and I just write everything out here. And then once it's ready to go, I just like copy paste everything in there. It just makes life so much easier. I wanted to show you guys a free way you can make a thumbnail. I do have Adobe Photoshop and stuff like that, but this is just faster and it's easier. I'll go to create a custom size on Canva, 1920 by 1080 pixels. And then here I'll most likely have taken a screenshot in game of my sim. So I'm gonna do my sim self. I'm gonna plop her down in here. So I'll just do this. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't want it to be too centered. So I'll just, move it around, have this be here. And in the spirit of, this being the tutorial, I will make this the thumbnail of the video because I'm putting in the work right now to do it. I'll add a text. So let me remove my camera so you guys can see everything I'm doing. If you go to text right here, add a text box, and then I'll type how to film and edit Sims 4 content. I'll probably change that, but I like to use this Laura. Sometimes I like to use feeling passionate. This one is really good too. And it's kind of like this cute, like handwritten one. That there. I can put more spacing. Here you can adjust the letter spacing so it's a bit more legible. And then I go to the effects and I add a shadow. I do the offset and then I make the background black. So it kind of pops out and stands out here. And then I like to just realize things, film and edit Sims 4 content. And it's super easy. I'm probably going to export this though and like add some extra elements, but on here it has elements. So you could do like a cute little arrow. We'll look at the graphics. And a lot of these are paid, but one thing about Canva is you can get like 2 free memberships, kind of like trial memberships. And I don't know, I just think like adding an arrow at it's like, hey, we're doing the thing. Just kind of put it up in the corner because you have to think when someone sees your thumbnail, it's either going to be really small on the screen. So a lot of the times it's the thumbnail that's going to make someone click on it. And then while they're watching the video, they're going to read your description, like your title, which is, I basically come up with this based off how I, as a user of YouTube and stuff, how I look at things. So surely you consume as well. So just kind of noticing your own habits and patterns on, okay, like, why did this make me click on this? Why did this stand out to me? Oh, it looks high quality. I like how the sim looks. I like the effects. I like the writing. It stood out to me that the title is like how to film and edit Sims 4 content. And it's easy to read. Like, this is a nice, cute font, but you can still read what it's saying. A lot of the times there's some fonts that they're cursive, but it's like, what the hell does that even say? Just to add on one last little like fundamental mod for making content for Sims, if you wanted to feel more simmy, I would suggest downloading these PNG files. They're high quality and you can kind of put them on to your thumbnail and you can put them kind of popped up as you're editing your videos, stuff like that, especially when you're storytelling. I think it's really good to have these icons because you can kind of put up fake little bubbles by their heads and put these icons. So, you can really control a lot of the storytelling that way. Okay, so I've tweaked this and this is what I have. It's short, it's simple. There's not too much going on the screen. I've added the icons. So all of these are different little elements from these sim packs. So 100% get it. I feel like it's a really good way of showing what the video is about, tying it into the title without having to put so much stuff and elements and making it too crowded onto your thumbnail. If you like a cleaner look, you can still clutter your thumbnail. Depending on the audience it reaches, you never know if they're like, what the fuck, why is it so cluttered? Why isn't this like more simple? So just starting out, keep it as simple as possible, but still like implement some elements of kind of what you're going to be talking about. But yeah, I think it's cute. I think it's good. We're going to go ahead and download this. I save it as a JPEG because if you download it as a PNG, YouTube is weird and it doesn't like to recognize that your photo is within the dimensions. I guess the quality is too high as a PNG. So just download it as a JPEG. And once that's saved, and here you've already got like whatever it is you typed out for your description and stuff. So it's all ready. So all that's really left for you to do is export your video and go over to YouTube and upload it. So that is pretty much the entire process of my filming, editing, mods that are used, things that I use to make the thumbnail, how I get things ready for the uploading process, all the way through to the uploading. So I think this was a pretty much all around everything in one video. You won't have to necessarily go anywhere else to look for different elements of anything. This is the full step-by-step, and I hope that this encourages you and makes you want to get up and start making content for The Sims. And the last and most important thing, I know I said the last thing was the last thing, but this is the last and most important thing. Do it for you, okay? Your people will come. Be yourself. Don't copy anyone else. Don't try to change your personality. Don't think, oh, I need to talk slower. I need to talk quieter. I need to do this or do that. I need to film it like this. Do it for you, and the right people will eventually find you. Don't focus so much on if you're getting views or likes or anything like that. Just focus on doing it for yourself and making it fun for yourself, and people will eventually just gravitate towards that. And I love you guys so much, everyone that's been here this entire journey. I really, really appreciate it. Just keep being you, stay true to yourself, and have a wonderful day, Simmers. See you in the next one. Bye.